We also need to see underneath all of that, there's a real tension between two camps that both have quite a bit of influence in the Trump administration. On one hand, you have the more hawkish elements. Among those figures, there are certainly some neoconservatives. Today, I think Marco Rubio kind of represents those figures who very much sort of the traditional Republican hawks. We could describe some of them as being neoconservatives. Then on the other hand, we have the so-called restrainers. These restrainers are definitely not pacifists, but they set the bar much higher for when the United States should use military force to advance American interests on the international stage. These figures, such as J.D. Vance, tend to be quite skeptical when it comes to arguments that the U.S. Should be more militarily involved in the Middle East. And these figures really speak to an important part of Trump's base within the MAGA sort of America First base. And when Trump makes foreign policy decisions, I sort of think he oscillates between these two camps. And I think we sort of saw that back in June when the U.S. waged military strikes against 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. He gave the hawks and the neoconservatives what they wanted. For decades, these figures in Washington had basically been dreaming and fantasizing about the day when the United States would bomb Iran. Past administrations, including very hawkish ones like George W. Bush's administration, never made that move, always fearful that bombing Iran would lead to unintended consequences and would be too risky. But Trump crossed that line. He bombed Iran. However, he also brought the Iranians and Israelis into a ceasefire right after that, and he did not follow up with additional bombings of Iran. And then he signaled his desire for diplomatic engagement with Tehran, which showed that he never abandoned the restrainer elements within his base.